Violent overnight. 2 people are dead and 1 more is hurt after 3 separate shootings in a 4-hour span. The latest in a live report coming up. And what is the next step for the building in the chicken processing plant in Fremont? We'll let you know. Plus, President-elect Donald Trump has his press conference. You saw it here earlier on KMTV, what he believes about Russia's role in hacking leading up to the election. Hi, I'm Lindsay Thies. KMTV Action 3 News live at midday is next.
In everyone's brain, there's an area devoted to shopping confidence called the Abila Gotta Hava. Concerns about getting the low price triggers the release of doubt-hormones, creating anxiety, resulting in endless online price comparisons and treks from store to store. The price specialists at Nebraska Furniture Mart are working daily, checking, comparing, and then updating guaranteed low prices on these revolutionary digital price tags. Digital price tags, guaranteed to stop doubt-hormone release, only from Nebraska Furniture Mart.
I became a foster parent because kids need homes while parents work things out.
Because you're not just helping kids, you're helping families.
Why should you become a foster parent?
Because it makes a difference.
So brothers and sisters can stay together to put an end to the abuse.
Because it's easier to become an adult if you've had a childhood first.
Because it's worth it.
Why should you become a foster parent?
Because you can.
Because you can.
Because you can.
Strengthen a family. Become a foster parent.
The road can be unpredictable. That's why there's Camry, a safe and reliable car to give you the reassurance you need for the road ahead. Plus, the 2017 Toyota Camry received the NHTSA 5-star overall safety rating. You can't predict what's around the next corner, but it's nice to know you've got a car that can help protect you from it. Tested, trusted Toyota. Get 0% APR for 72 months on a new Camry, or lease one for $249 a month with zero due at signing. Find yours at buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Prepare to be the best at Clarkson College.
KMTV Action 3 News live at midday starts now with your Weather Alert First Forecast.
All right, just after 12 o'clock here on this Hump Day Wednesday, and boy, what a change if you were up early with us this morning. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, we're in the low to mid-30s with light winds. And the cold front come barreling through here. It's got temperatures now down to 19 in Bennington, 16 in Autumn Ridge. Last report still 21 out at the Crossing Mall. Brentwood, your neighborhood, number 20 degrees. And right now, Sherman over in Carter Lake, 22. But you take the winds, 20 gusting to about 30 or 35 miles per hour. It's got the wind chill factor already near zero. So as expected, temps falling this morning through the afternoon. Not a lot of moisture. You may have saw a few stray flurries blowing around out there. That chance pretty limited the rest of the afternoon. What we're waiting for is this little piece of energy to move across the state, expand the snow a little bit. So light snow and flurries still in the forecast, especially this evening through the overnight. I think the amounts with that are going to be very light. It would be very powdery. Light snow would blow around a little bit, maybe a coating at best. Do not worry. It's not going to be freezing rain like we saw yesterday morning. And I don't see too many problems tomorrow with travel early Thursday. But we'll watch that again. It doesn't take much with temperatures this cold, and that's going to be the big story through the afternoon. Notice temperatures pretty steady, upper teens to low 20s as we head through the evening, beginning to fall. And then I was trying to pause the model picket. There you go. A couple of snow flurries, maybe some light snow a few different times. I was trying to catch those on the forecast, but this really downplaying that. So, Linz, I don't see it as a huge problem. But again, obviously, Jen will be along later this afternoon with more information, 4, 5, 6, and 10. I'll be here tomorrow morning. I'm not anticipating problems with this. However, there is a bigger player in our forecast down the road. The 7-day shows some bigger change. We'll do all that in about 10 minutes.
All right, we'll be watching for that. Thanks, Ryan. We want to start with a breaking news update on 3 different shootings we reported this morning that they happened overnight. First, this one, 27-year-old Darnisha Mitchell is the shooting victim for this first shooting. Police found her near 33rd and Fowler just before 1:30 this morning. Police say they found Mitchell suffering from a gunshot wound. She was declared dead at the hospital. No arrests have been made. And more than an hour later, another shooting left one man dead near 36th and Laurel. Police haven't released his ID. No arrests have been made in that case either. Our own Megan Hahn will have more details on Facebook Live. That's Action 3 News on your Facebook page. Look for that right after this newscast. And we're learning more about a man who was shot and critically wounded outside Nebraska Furniture Mart around 4:30 this morning. KMTV Action 3 News reporter Shantae Passmore has been following the story since it broke early this morning. She's live with the latest. Hi, Shantae.
Lindsay, police say 37-year-old Jared Clausen is the victim, and he's also an employee right here at the Nebraska Furniture Mart. Now, I spoke to an anonymous source close to Clausen. He says he's an electrician who's worked at the Mart for many, many years, and he actually came into work early today, earlier than he normally does. Now, investigators say Clausen and his co-worker were walking through the main parking lot of the Mart just right off Rose Blumkin Drive when someone shot him. Investigators spent several hours combing the scene, marking evidence in the parking lot. Right now, the search is on for the suspect. Here's what police told us about who they're looking for.
And only suspect description we have is a white male, about 6 foot tall, wearing a light or gray hoodie, and the suspect vehicle given was a green Ford Explorer, possibly 90s.
I also spoke to a Nebraska Furniture Mart employee who says a company email went out to all the employees in Lindsay. This anonymous source who's close to Clausen says Clausen came out of his first surgery. Right now, there's no word whether there are more surgeries to come. This source is telling me to ask the public to pray for Clausen as well as his family. Live at the Mart, Shantae Passmore, KMTV, Action 3 News, Midday.
Thanks, Shantae. Police have made an arrest in an October shooting. That shooting left one woman dead. The Metro Fugitive Task Force arrested Tyreek Leslie yesterday. He faces charges that include first-degree murder. Investigators say he shot and killed Suzanne Pope inside a home near 39th in Kansas. Curtis Goodwin was also shot that day. He survived. Police say Leslie got out of prison in April in 2015 after serving time for a 2008 killing in Minnesota. And the latest numbers from Council Bluffs show overall crime is up, but violent offenses are down. The 2016 figures show arson calls are down by half and assaults are down by 1/3. One crime that is up dramatically, stolen cars. Council Bluffs Mayor Matt Walsh says he is pleased with the work of the Council Bluffs Police Department. And a proposed chicken processing plant planned near Old Highway 275 in Fremont will be larger than originally expected. The announcement came last night at the Fremont City Council meeting. Amendments reflect changes to the project timeline, plus an increase in the plant facility size and more tax increments than originally proposed. Fremont City Council also approved to give Costco a $1 million grant.
I mean, we're going to invest in them, they're going to invest in us. It's like a handshake, a monetary handshake of sorts.
Costco plans to begin construction on the chicken plant this spring. And back here in Omaha, the search continues for a new superintendent to lead Nebraska's largest school district. A small handful of people showed up at a forum in South Omaha last night. That's for feedback on Omaha Public Schools superintendent search. Current OPS superintendent Mark Evans is retiring.
To involve the community and to give them some ownership in the process, I think is essential. And when they have that ownership, I think they better support the final decision.
The district is holding forums the rest of the week at its headquarters at 30th and Cumming. We have a list of the upcoming forums on our website, kmtv.com. And the Omaha City Council discussed entertainment districts again yesterday. The move would allow an outdoor area where you can drink beer, walk around, similar to the rail yard in Lincoln. Now, the area just south of the CenturyLink Center is close to becoming an official entertainment district. That's called the proposed Capital District. Developers at Exarban Village told the City Council yesterday that they would plan to join the Capital District in seeking that entertainment district distinction.
For the most part, I think everything ran well or ran fairly well in Lincoln, and I don't see any reason why we can't do it here.
Project Extra Mile is challenging the idea. They argue that entertainment districts would encourage binge drinking. The City Council will take a vote on it again in 2 weeks. The organization that runs the CenturyLink Center and TD Ameritrade Park, Mecca, turned a big profit in 2016. Mecca says it made almost $5 million. Events at the CenturyLink Center pumped $43 million into Omaha's economy. That's a big credit for that increase. That big credit goes to the Olympic swim trials in Omaha. And around the nation this midday, President-elect Donald Trump held his first news conference in almost 6 months. You saw it right here on KMTV. Jamie Yuccas has the latest.
President-elect Donald Trump is firing back at media reports that Russia may have compromising information about him.
The thing like that should have never been written, It should never have been had, and it should certainly never have been released.
CBS News has learned that an appendix to an intelligence report presented to Mr. Trump and President Obama contained details of an alleged Russian effort to compromise the president-elect with damaging information about his business and personal life. None of the details are confirmed to be true.
I saw the information. I read the information outside of that meeting. It's all fake news. It's phony stuff. It didn't happen.
Mr. Trump's first press conference in almost 6 months was mostly expected to be about his agenda, separation from his businesses, and cabinet confirmations. But now, some of the focus has shifted. Sources tell CBS News the new information was turned over to U.S. officials last year and came from a former British intelligence officer, who U.S. intelligence officials consider a credible source.
These memos are written as a professional intelligence officer would write up a report from a source. So they appear to be written by an intelligence officer.
U.S. intelligence is in the process of corroborating whether Russia has any compromising information about Mr. Trump. Jamie Yukas, CBS News, New York.
And major weather on the West Coast in California. Flooding is forcing evacuations and shutting down major roadways. Wow, just look at that devastation. About 2,000 people who live in a rural area near Sacramento were loaded onto buses to escape the horrible conditions. Gosh.
Wow.
Thinking of everyone out there, that is scary just looking at that.
It is. California's been hammered. They've had the flooding. They've had mudslides. In the mountains, they've anywhere from 3 to on top
They've
of
had the avalanches.
Mammoth Mountain, on the peak they had about 7 feet of snow. Yeah, avalanches. So it's been a mess, and that's really, take away the flooding, the mudslides, you get into heavy snow. Very common through the Rockies, parts of the Great Lakes, and New England all in the last week to 10 days. So we've been cold at times. We've had teeny tiny little bits of snow. What we don't want is the icing, the freezing rain we saw yesterday morning. Unfortunately, there is a shot of that in the forecast, and a couple more minor light snow chances. I don't think the snow's gonna be our biggest thing initially. The wind and the cold.
Will be
it's
the
here
big
through
issue.
the afternoon,
Well, and it was a big mess yesterday. So.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Well, thanks, Ryan. We will be looking for that.
We got it. All right.
All right. Yahoo will have a new name coming up. What it is and who is taking over. You're watching KMTV Action 3 News live at midday.
Team.